anything that comes to mind while I'm going through this, I'm hoping that you kind of destroy my syllabus that I have. That will tell me that it's a good session. So lots of questions and interactions, and if you see something that you have a question on, please just ask, and we'll go through it. With that said, there's going to be stuff that you have probably seen before, and there's stuff that you haven't seen before. So we might, if someone has a question, we'll probably stop and go over that small element. If you've already seen it before, forgive me, but it's helpful to go over those things multiple times. So I've kind of geared this towards a mix of very, very beginner stuff all the way up into our complex formulas and scripts and other stuff that you can do with your MyOrderdesk website. So just start shouting out, on a scale of 1 to 10, what's your confidence with your MyOrderdesk website right now?
0.5.
0.5. That's a good answer. 3. See, so zeros, fives, ones, threes, zeros, fives. Okay, a 5. All right. Okay, good. That's what I was hoping for, and I think we will. We're going to dive right into it here. I don't know if it's the internet that is bogging this thing down a little bit or not, but it's not having a good day.
Seems like we're going to have snow now.
Oh no, it's going to snow, and they're going to bring out bell peppers. I have my backup slideshow on here, so let's do this. Is the internet back up again, or is it still down?
No, it's still down.
Okay. So you're connected to the router, it's just not connected out to the internet.
I'm sure people around you don't have electricity. I'm sure there's people around here who don't have electricity. Right.
Slideshow. Okay, so I'm going to spin this around just until that thing wakes up a little bit. I'm sorry, I know you guys cannot see that very well, but I'm just going to talk to you through some objectives. They should be pretty basic on what we're going to do here, but my sole goal is to teach you guys a bunch of stuff, but for you guys to leave with confidence and knowledge in your MyOrderdesk site. So even if you're not the ones that are physically interacting with it, you know what you're asking of the person who might be doing it. So that's why we're all here today. We're going to go through a basic getting started guide. There's also a 16-minute video that we created that we give to all new MyOrderdesk customers. So it has some basics about setting up employees, what an order form means, what a job is, what a job form is, and so we're going to go through that. I added this section of proofing to the area because we talked about it yesterday and it came up, and it's a great tool that you need to know about. What our 5 different types of orders are. We're going to talk about responsive websites and what makes a website responsive and why that is important. We're going to go over the history page, a component called branded sites or branded portals. We're going to go over Design Online, which is the ability for you to upload InDesign templates directly into your MyOrderdesk website, and then your customers be able to interact and change those. And then we're going to go over the shopping cart, which is billing methods, shipping methods, UPS integration, FedEx integration, tax rates, those types of things. So we're going to go ahead and get started with setting up employees, and now is when everything's just going to magically work for me. Might need to close a couple things down.
I'm sorry guys, I just tried calling Daryl. All our phones are down too, going out. You will see the network online, but you won't be able to connect to any of it. Even our bad network's down. Everything coming in is down. So it's probably because of the power stuff.
Yeah.
Hopefully that's not an indication of how the rest of the day is going to go.
And I can't get a hold of Daryl, our CIS guy.
Are you just trying to run a PowerPoint?
I'm just going to get the, I just need an internet browser now. So as soon as that comes up, we'll get rolling here. Does everybody know how to log into their MyOrderdesk website? Okay. Do you know what your website name is?
I know mine.
You know your website? You can get to it? Okay. Let's go. Oh, we don't have internet yet. I had all this played out in my head. I was playing it out and everything, and there we go. So as soon as my website comes up, I will show you guys what we're gonna do.
Cell phones are working here.
Cell phones will work, but not the internet.
How many hotspots? What's what I'm wondering if you.
I'm trying to set up mine, but that's something
I don't have unlimited data. I'm not sure.
I could let you hook up to mine, but if the more people that connect, the more it's going to go down.
It's gonna get slower.
You know, question is, we have to use Internet Explorer, we can't use Firefox, anything?
That's a good question. We had a question about what internet browsers you can use, and this is actually one of our challenges that we work through quite a bit. So we support all the major browsers, which is Internet Explorer, Mozilla Firefox, Google Chrome, and then also Safari. Depending on when, so all of those different internet browsers update at different times. First of all, everyone understand what an internet browser is? It's just a way for you to get out to the internet. So those update at different times at different intervals, and they all kind of speak a different type of language. So we support those main 4 browsers. However, we have found that the most reliable ones are the ones that are multi-platform. So Safari can just be run on Mac, not as reliable as Google Chrome, which runs on both interfaces because they have to make it run on both interfaces. Safari could care less if your Mac could care less if Safari ran on a Windows computer. So, so we recommend Mozilla Firefox and Google Chrome. Those are the most reliable. With that said, it also depends on what time frame you're using it in, because as they roll out updates and we roll out our updates, one could be more reliable than the other. So overall, overbearing, Mozilla Firefox and Google Chrome are the
Which browser
other
would you
two.
use today?
So I'm going to go ahead and use Internet Explorer today. And actually, that's before I realized Chrome was on here. But
I don't have either here, so
which one do you have?
Internet Explorer only.
That's fine. That's fine. It should be.
Internet
Should be just
Explorer
fine.
getting ready to not be supported, right?
Yeah. So they're actually going to get rid of Internet Explorer, but they're going to rename it. So they'll still have a browser, but the name Internet Explorer has gotten such a bad name that they're going to go ahead and get rid of it.
Yeah.
I'm nervous to throw that into slideshow mode again.
You know, actually, Internet Explorer control us, and we can control Firefox and stuff.
All right, here we go. So the first thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is setting up your employees. And really, more than that, just the users and groups area. That's where all the permissions get handled inside of MyOrderdesk. So in this example, we're going to use 2 different companies, if you will. We're a print shop, and the name of our print shop is going to be Print Velocity. We have one customer, ABC School, and another customer, XYZ Hospital. So ABC School and XYZ Hospital. Obviously, there's going to be forms, ordering forms, which we'll go over in a second, that you want ABC School to see that you don't want XYZ Hospital to see. That's all built inside of your account. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open up another tab here. Wow. Once I get that open, hopefully this thing goes a little smoother. So when we log into MyOrderdesk as an administrator, we see something similar to what your users see, but you get all these other advanced options, which allow you to change things like users and groups and permissions and ordering forms. And so as soon as this loads, I'll show you how to make our way into that. I am not sure what is causing this thing to go so slow.
Just speed up the process. Just get with somebody that is online if you can.
Sure. Okay, so I'm logging into my test account here as an administrator. So every MyOrderdesk site generally looks different. It's heavily customizable. So in general, you're going to see the same type of thing, but the wrapper around it might be different. Okay, the piece of gum is the same. It does the same thing, but the wrapper around it can look very, very different. So once you're in here, I was talking about these 3 horizontal lines in the upper left-hand corner of your screen. That is our new navigation that's going to replace this old navigation that you see down here. So this is eventually going to go away, probably most likely in the next 2 weeks, and it will be replaced by this side navigation. We're doing that for a couple of reasons. One is new users don't associate that very well because it's difficult to see and comprehend, whereas a side navigation is a little bit easier. Plus, it's a little more mobile friendly, it's a little more tablet friendly. All the things that we've been doing over the last year are mobile and tablet friendly. So all the stuff that you see over here that you might be used to is going to be available over here. So for today, for practice, I'm going to use that area only to navigate around. So as you move down here, this administration section is set up in a couple different ways. So this top area here is your MyOrderdesk website. If you have any branded sites or branded portals, we're going to talk about those later. All right. The next area is the sign in as area. We're going to go over this in a second, but whenever you set up a customer, you want to sign in as them. Even though you don't know their password, you can sign in as them and see what it looks like for them, because it'll look different for you than it will for them. We're going to come back to that in a little bit. The next area here is the My Account, the order history, and the proofing area. That's just main, kind of the core components of MyOrderdesk. And then we're going to start to get into the order form tools area. So if you look under here, there is a link that says users and groups. I want everybody to go down there and click on users and groups.
Adam, is everybody on their site right now?
Okay. If
Okay. Gary, can you help Marilyn? And Jerry needs to get in, and Janet as well.
Yeah, if you can't get in, don't fight with it. Just, Gary, that's awesome that you're here to help me. Thank you. Just focus your eyes up here, and then if you want to take a look at this on a break, you can, or whatnot. What's your website? I would have to look it up for you, or Gary.
Can you navigate your website through your actual company website? Like you log in, upload file that way?
What's your email address?
KK43 or KKP40. I don't even remember the password.
43?
Yeah. Not connecting.
It's a quick copy, right?
Quickcopy.com, right?
43?
Yes.
I can go look at that from my desk.
It's kk43.quickcopy.com. 43. No www, just kk43.quickcopy.com.
Well, let me see if I can. Well, let's see. You just set it up. I got the password. I don't know what else.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
Yep, so it should look like that.
Yes.
Perfect. So yeah, you'll want to click on the My Account area at the top. That's where we're at. And if you don't remember your login, you're going to have to reset your password to get in.
Do you think if it's that information, my email?
Who needs help getting in? But are you getting help? What do you need?
It doesn't, like, well, now we can't get back. Are we not going to when you're on our website, it doesn't say, like, my order desk or anything. So you tell your customers to go to my website and go to my order desk.
Place order.
We just tell them
Okay, we want to use Google Chrome. We're not going to use
Galaxy one.
Internet Explorer. Just because it's an older version, it's an older laptop. Oh, there we go.
KK Spring?
I was in for a bit.
But it has MOD.
I don't know what.
What website y'all go to? Let's say you tell me to go to your website, what would you tell me?
I don't have
Man, is this a rocket ship or what?
I know where to go.
I'm a new customer, I just now started with you. I want to go to your website.
So we want to get that open and
Then
go to kkspring.com. Yep. Everyone else okay for right now?
Carolyn is using a different shell, so how do you log into hers?
So she'll be under client portal login.
yeah, I got that far. I just don't know what the username and password is.
Yeah, I can look it up. What's
15. Quick copy 15. It usually has it under the password at the bottom of the email address.
it's Pasadena.
Well, if they use Maryland, I mean, if they use my Maryland one, or they could be Allison or graphics, or it could be a lot of things.
Yep.
When it says select a location for my Galaxy network, do I say home or public?
Yeah,
Public?
public.
You get bags?
info@quickcopypasadena.com.
Yeah.
Do you have access to the email for that? What?
Oh, do you?
In, yeah.
Maryland, quick copy Pasadena?
No, info@quickcopypasadena.com.
That would, yes.
Let me check and see if there's a Maryland on here.
No, the info will come to my inbox.
Okay.
That's the login.
Yeah, so info@quickcopypasadena is the email address, and then the password is, I can't tell what the password is.
Can you tell us so we can go hack ours?
And so therefore, I just click on the, I can click on forgot password so that it sends one to info at,
Yep.
so that I can log in and get it.
Yep,
It'll ask you to fill out a form.
yep.
That's what I'm doing.
Where's the addresses and stuff? Yes, ma'am.
But you know what? I don't know that I can get, I can't get to
No, that's not an MOD site.
my shopping.
This is your main website?
What's, click on request an estimate, or one of those. Nope, it's not an MOD site.
How do you know?
Because there's no my account, it just doesn't look like one of our skins.
orders to us all the time.
They do.
Not MyOrderdesk,
You got
but
your own, you got it.
Yeah, so hold on, they're KK Spring, I can look them up.
I can look it up.
All right, don't worry about it. We'll watch over the shoulders of others. And that's what I'm.
Well, okay. What's your email address? Is it KK Spring? Email contains KK.
Mail at KK Spring.
I might not have created one for them because they had their own thing. Well, no, it's kk414.quickcopy.com.
All right.
It is working.
I'm gonna look on with Henry.
kk414.quickcopy.com. It'll send you an email to you.
I can't get to that email.
Oh, that's right. Why can't you?
Because I don't have, because I have a private server.
I can go to the, I might be able to, if you haven't changed it, I'll look it up. I got this old spreadsheet, so.
All right, here's what we'll do. We'll keep rolling, and then at the next break, or when our break comes up, we're going to go ahead and we'll help those that are having problems. But for right now, look over the shoulder of whoever you are, whoever you're next to. All right, so we're in the users and groups area. Again, this place is where you're going to do your permissions. You're going to turn on order forms for people. You're going to turn off order forms for other people. But the very first thing that we want to make sure is that all of our employees are in place. Shared logins are awesome for the first day. Then they're a nightmare. So you don't want to make sure nobody's sharing a login. Everyone has their own login. You're not penalized if you have multiple logins. So over on the left-hand side of this area here, you're going to see our system groups. All right, those groups can't be deleted or added to. Those are the basic system groups. The first one, we're actually going to start at the bottom of our list at the employees group. So if when we click on the employees group, what's going to happen is it's going to update the other side here. It's going to load and show me a list of all my employees.
Adam,
Yes, sir.
I need my password.
Okay. Watch up here. Watch up here for right now, and then when we grab a break or a workshop portion, I'll jump over and help you add your password. So if you look over here up on our screen, I've highlighted the employees group on the right-hand side, and then I can see a list of my employees. All right. There's different levels of permissions that an employee can have, and that is, I'm just going to highlight one of these users and then show you. So there can be one site owner, all right? That's generally you, whoever is the site owner, but that just means that they're our sole contact. So they're the ones that can remove an account or delete an account. Right after a site owner is a site administrator. They have the same control as a site owner does. So anybody that you want to create order forms, you give them full control. They're your operator of your website. They're going to become a site administrator. And I'm going to show you how to move people around in groups if you want to. The next level of administration is a job administrator, and they have full control of just the jobs. So when they log in, they don't get this up here. They're not allowed to make changes and change colors of the websites, add order forms, remove order forms. They're allowed to go into your order history dashboard and do whatever they want. They can delete jobs. They can do whatever. And then your staff, all they're allowed to do is go into the system, see every job that's there, and download the jobs. So the takeaway from that is make sure that anybody who you say, you know what, I'm not worried about them, they know what they're doing, just make them a site administrator. All right, that's the employees group. Inside of the users and groups area, whenever you want to move one person or multiple people around, you click on their name, and then you use the pull-down menu below to set them wherever you want them to. So if I wanted to change Michael Hers to a staff member, I'd click him once and click on staff, and that moves him down into the staff member section. So you delete one by highlighting them once and then clicking on the minus button. That will remove them out of the employee list.
Can you change the email address? Highlight it.
Yep, just click on them once, and then you click on this minus button right here.
Can you change the email address?
Not yet. That's actually a feature that we've gone back and, well, we haven't had for a while, but we think we're going to add it, which will allow you to change their email address. But
Delete them and then add them back.
yes, yeah. The way that MyOrderdesk is built is once an email address is in MyOrderdesk, you, physically the site owner, can't go in and change them. But if you log in as them, they can change their own email address. So as long as you know their password, or you have access to their email, you can reset their password, you can change their email. Go ahead.
This one doesn't have site administrator or staff on it. How do you add those lines?
All that means is that you don't have anybody yet.
We need to add something.
So as soon as you add somebody, which I'm about to show you how to add people to your MyOrderdesk site, and you assign them as that, then that bold heading will show up. Any questions on employees? All right. We're going to jump from the employees group up to the everyone group. So the everyone group is all your customers, all your employees, everybody who's on your MyOrderdesk website shows up in this area here. All right, if you want to take somebody that's in this group, let's say I wanted to take Bridget and make her a site administrator, again, I'd highlight her name and then set her as somebody of the employee group, whatever designation she needed. All right, I'm going to walk you through adding somebody to your website. Now, this is how to manually do it. Generally, when a customer comes to your MyOrderdesk website, they'll click on My Account, they'll say, I'm a new user, and they'll sign up in that fashion. But when you're a site administrator, you can sign people up on behalf of them. That works for kind of finicky customers that don't want to even deal with the sign-up process. You can come in here and build an account for them. So right next to the minus button is a plus button, and that is how you are going to add someone to the system. So I'm going to create so this can be an employee. If you're in your employee list right now and you want to add somebody, you can do so. I'm just going to do Adam at ICEDtest.net. I'll do .com. And then I'm just going to create them a password. It has to be a minimum of 6 characters. Generally, when you're adding somebody, we don't use this send them a new greeting unless you're doing it in mass or they are very aware that you're doing it for them, because that email that they're going to just randomly get that says you've been added is just our best practice is not to do that in this case here. So after you take this person and add them to the system, they will appear inside of your everyone group. Right here. Then if I wanted to make that person a site administrator, I can. If I want to make them a job administrator, I can. But the takeaway that we're at right here is that the everyone group is absolutely everybody in your website. The employees group obviously just shows the employees.
And everyone group is for the customers or not?
Yes, yes, the everyone group will show all of your customers. That's actually, it's a great transition over to the next portion of what we're about to talk about is the difference between a customer and a prospect. You'll see those two different things. A customer is somebody that's sent more than one job in the last 12 months. Okay, a prospect is somebody that has sent no more than one job in the last 12 months. Your site is provided through ICED, so it doesn't matter that much to what you're doing, but we have some active user limits set. Other customers outside ICED that matters to. But when you see that phrase customer versus prospect, that's all that means. One job versus multiple jobs. If we look at the other system groups, these are some others that are not used often, but are good to know about. Unassigned just means they are sitting in the everyone group and they don't have any other assignment. They're not in a custom group, which is down here. You can see some custom groups, and they're not assigned to anyone else. Blacklisted, if you have a rogue employee or somebody that you just absolutely know you do not want them having any access to your website, they would get added to the blacklist group. Hopefully nobody has any of those. Yes?
Back up just a second.
Yes?
While we're sitting here, I added one of my employees.
Yep.
She does not show up anywhere. Does they have to log in themselves?
She should show up in the everyone list as soon as you add her. If you can't find her, use this search box here. You can type in any portion of her name and press enter, and it'll highlight the different times it sees it. It may just list, actually it will just list her email address at this point. It will not list her name. What's her, that's Jamie? Jamie B. Press enter. One item.
Oh, okay. Where is it?
So see how it's showing first name, last name?
Yeah.
You didn't put one in for her yet. So she's probably going to be at the bottom where there's just email addresses. Whoop. Almost there. Nope, then she's probably at the top. No, she wouldn't be a customer. She hasn't submitted jobs yet. See where there's just email addresses?
Yeah.
So she'll be under Jamie B. Right there. Yep, and then you'll use that to set her to whatnot. Well, yep, go ahead. Yep, go ahead. Good.
Click on those three things.
And then you're going to click on users and groups.
Oh, users.
And then we were talking about the employees group. You just have to single click.
Oh, okay.
Once on employees. I think you have to click again.
Yeah, you have to do it again.
There you go. There you go. Now you can see who. Look at that. You guys are all set up already. Good job. Okay, so we've talked about the everyone group. We've talked about the employees group. And there's another point to focus on here. When you manually sign up a customer, like I just did, all you saw me do was plug in their email address and a password. The rest of their profile information, their first name, their last name, their address, their phone number, has not been filled in yet. So the first time that they go to log into the system, they're going to be asked to fill in that information. Okay, so this is something to know when you're creating an employee, when you're adding a user for them, they still have information that they need to fill out. Okay, so I'm actually going to sign out really quick and sign in to show you what that looks like. So I just created the user adam@icedtest.com. So I'm going to sign out and then I'm going to sign in as that person to illustrate what I'm talking about. adam@icedtest.com. So before the system will let me navigate anywhere, I have to finish filling in my profile information. Even if I try and click on reorder Well, actually, it will let me go into reorder, but if I try and click on order to place an order, it won't let me log in until I've completed this information. So let me go ahead and do that. CD test. All right, now that I've completed that information, I can click on order, and if I had any accessible order forms, I could get into there, no problem. All right, I'm going to log back in as the site administrator. Go back to users and groups, and we'll finish up in here shortly. So we've got our unassigned group. That's for anybody that's not in one of the custom groups down there. It's not commonly used, but it can help when tracking somebody down. Blacklisted, again, for employees that you know want zero access to the site. Public order forms, we're going to skip that for now. We're going to come back to it later. But it's forms like request and estimate where you don't want to have to force them to create an account before they get information. So an estimate is a good example of a form that you don't want that. Okay, so that's our system groups. Now we get into the groups I created. Right now I only have 3, and generally speaking, you'll have a group for each one of your different customers. All right, so we have ABC College. I'm gonna go ahead and add XYZ Hospital. So these buttons down here are what control the groups above. You can add a group, you can delete a group, you can send a very basic email to everybody in that group. You can export a list of users into a CSV file of that group. So if I highlight a group and then I come down to export, it'll drop a CSV file. It gives me very important information like when they signed up, when the last time they submitted a job, all of their profile information comes down in there. So that export feature is sometimes overlooked. If you have a larger customer that's maybe got 20, 30, 40 people ordering, you can use the import button, which will give you a template that you can click there to download, and it's got headings like first name, last name, email address, password. You can preload in all of their information and then use our upload button to upload that Excel file into MyOrderdesk, and all the accounts will be added. So you don't have to go in and add each one manually, and they don't have to go in and create their own accounts. You can use a CSV file. That's normally used for bulk uploading users into the system. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add a new group, and it's going to be X, Y, Z. Oops. Sorry, when you hit plus, scroll down, and it's going to be XYZ Hospital. If you guys want to, if you're in your system right now, you want to add a test group, that's totally fine. Sir, yep. What happened?
I already got my, okay now, so,
Oh, it's going?
yeah, it's on now.
Okay. So we're using these 3 horizontal bars in the upper left, and we're still in the users and groups area.
When you click on that add function for group,
Mm-hmm. Scroll down just a little bit.
there's a little box that comes up that says enable auto link.
Yep. So by default, that always stays on. Yes, exactly. So now we're going to get into a couple more of the complex areas of MyOrderdesk, but this is really great, really good information to know. So I've created the XYZ Hospital group. Let's say in this example, there's going to be 30 people ordering from this specific customer. So let's go walk through each one of these different elements of the XYZ Hospital group. Under the settings area, we can change the name of the group. Okay, we can give them the ability to sign in as other people under their accounts using this checkbox here. There's a checkbox to auto add members, and what that means is, see this link right here? You can give them that link, and if they use that link to sign up, they will automatically be put in the XYZ Hospital group. All right, so let me go over that again. This is a unique link to the XYZ Hospital group. So when they use that link and they log in or they sign up for an account using that link, they're automatically put into that group. Why would that be a good thing? Well, if you've got 3 different order forms turned on for this group that are not turned on for that group, they automatically see those if they use that link to log in. Otherwise, they're just going to get dumped into the everyone group, and you're going to have to go and manually put them into the XYZ group. So this link is uniquely created for each custom group and allows them to be auto-added.
What's the enable sign in as?
It'll make more sense later, but let's say there was somebody in the XYZ group that was your main contact or administrator, and you wanted that person to be able to log in as one of the other users of XYZ group, XYZ hospital. All right, the next area we'll go through is the members. Now there's no members yet because we just created this group. Again, there's two ways that people can get into this group. Either a site administrator can go into the everyone group and manually add somebody. I'm going to show you how to do that. If I just come here and then, let's see, find my name. So I'm going to now show you, so I've got my test account here I created, and I'm going to add them to XYZ Hospital. All right, now I have a prospect sitting in XYZ Hospital, or they use that auto add link, which I showed you before. We're going to close the members section. There's some other elements to that we'll come back to. Order forms. This is a very common area that we're going to be back and forth in a bunch. But there is a concept here that's a little bit tricky to understand, so I'm going to go through it a couple times, so hopefully that it makes sense. Let's say I wanted to turn an order form on for just XYZ Hospital. So let's say that's the business card portrait. I highlight that order form once, and then I can go and turn that on for them. Now here's where, stick with me on this. There's 3 different levels that we can give to an order form. We can turn it on, which overrides the everyone group. We can turn it off, which also overrides the everyone group, or we can set it to the default, which means use the everyone group's permission. Okay? Remember, the everyone group is for everybody. So if they log into the site, they're gonna see, if you have an order form turned on for the everyone group, they're gonna be able to see it. So this will start to make more sense as we go, but know that there's 3 levels: off, on, or use the everyone group settings. All right. Generally, in this specific scenario, we would just take this and we would turn it on for that specific group. You can also shift click to highlight multiple order forms. I think that's both for Mac and PC. You can hold shift and that will you can highlight multiple items and turn them on or off for a specific group of people. Notifications and checkout options and reports and catalogs are all something that we're going to come back to. So what I really want to make sure is that you guys have your employees set up correctly inside the system, at least that they have a stub account that then they can at least log in and change their password or username. Okay, we're going to go to order forms next. So if whoever is on their page, just go ahead and click on up here in our 3 horizontal bars. Click on that, and then you're going to click on the link that says Add or Edit Order Forms. So the 3 horizontal bars. And then Add, Edit Order Forms. Okay, so an order form is something that your customer uses to place an order with you. They are the building block of everything that we're doing. So whether they're ordering a t-shirt or they're ordering a business card or they're ordering more flyers, it all starts with a ordering form. So on this page, there's a couple different things that you can do. You can add a new form. You can add a new form from one of the templates that we have pre-built. You can search or edit your current order forms, or you can view the stats on your order forms. If you're in front of this screen now, go ahead and click on plus new form. And then go ahead and just give your form a name. Anything is fine. We're going to go back and delete this. And then your screen should look like this. Let me know if it doesn't. It may look like this, which in that case, let me know. Actually, if you just click on this link that says try our new form builder, but it should all load to this without a problem. You're good? Everyone's good?
Ours is blue, not black.
That's okay. So again, I was on the 3 horizontal bars and then add edit order forms, and then I clicked on new form to create a new ordering form. If you haven't used MyOrderdesk for a long, long time, then this should look very new to you. This was revamped probably 3 or 4 years ago. I'm going to start with the basic concept of building an order form, and then I'll go back in. We're going to go through each one of these options so you can know everything that an order form can and cannot do. On the left-hand side here is all of the possible fields that can be added to an ordering form. I'm going to expand those so that you can see them. I'll just leave it there. So these fields are all possible ones to be added to an order form. So you can add a checkbox, you can add a menu, you can add a notes field, a number field, some buttons, some text. They can all be added. Over here on the right-hand side are fields that currently exist on this order form. So remember when I clicked new order form and this, I gave it a name and these 4 fields came up by default? That's because every MyOrderdesk order form comes with those 4 fields as a default. All right, that's just how we have it set up. So right now we're looking at the print shop's view of this. Obviously your customer doesn't get to see this. So that begs the question, what does your customer get to see? Whenever you're interacting between editing an order form and trying to view it as a customer, I like to open up 2 tabs in my internet browser. So up here, there's a link that says switch to view. Right now we're in edit mode. We want to look at view mode. So if you right click on that and say open in a new tab, that gives you the ability to see what essentially what the customer is going to see, or what your user will see.
How did you get that?
So over back on this page, there's a link that says switch to view. If you right click on it instead of left click on it, you can open it in a new tab. What's up? So it's this link right here.
Did you choose the switch?
Open in a new tab. Now it removed the outer portion of the website, but the main components of it are here. You saw those 4 fields. There's a project name field, a notes field, an upload field, and a send button. I know that says add to cart right now, but that's just because it's turned on by default. We'll go over that in a little bit. But yeah, there's a pull down area at the top too. If you want to change what order form you're on, those are all your different order forms that are available to you. You see all of them because you're the site administrator. So these are the fields that currently exist on your order form: the job description, the job notes, the upload, and the send. If you want to see options for one of those fields, you click the little arrow next to it. All right, so the field caption is what the customer sees just before the field. And the field value is generally left blank unless you wanted to preload it with information. So in this example, I'm going to change project name to project title. And I'm going to show you how that corresponds with the other screen. So I'm going to click on update once I've changed that. I'm going to refresh this page. You can see that the caption, field caption, changed next to the area here. It's a super basic ordering form. I'm going to show you some more complex ones as we go along. But let's start with the basics. So that's a field caption. If you wanted the customer's profile information to automatically fill into that field, you can do so by clicking on profile fields and selecting their first name. You can also type those in if you want to, but that can lead to problems, and then also their last name. I'm going to click on update. And you can see that it knows I'm logged in as Adam Witek, and it will automatically fill in my profile information there. That's super helpful for business cards, variable data type things, because they don't have to keep rekeying those things in. They just do it once, and you don't have to worry about them mistyping something. So that's the profile fields area. So you can auto-fill those field values if you want to, but sometimes you may have fields where you don't want to pre-fill that information and you want them to type in information. So what I'm going to show you how to do next is how to add a field, how to add a new section to an ordering form. So if we come over here on the left-hand side, and what I want to add right now is a text field. So I want to give them an area for them to type text into. Click on the left, and we're going to drag and drop this over on the right-hand side wherever we want it to appear. So you'll see as I move my mouse up and down, it gives me a place to select where I want an object to drop, and I let it go where I want it to display. If you don't get it in the right spot, don't worry, we can move it on later on. So each new field needs a name, and it also needs a caption. The customer does not see the name. The customer only sees the caption. So in this example, I want them to tell me their city. All right, once that's done, we can go and refresh our ordering form, and you're going to see now that there's a new text field for them to type in their city. So we're just doing the very basics of an ordering form right now. And then I can click on that field, and I can type whatever I need to type. So you saw me add a text box. What if I wanted a checkbox? Okay, I'd come back over to my edit mode. I would click on checkbox and I would drag and drop it where I wanted it to appear. And this is, we'll say, Department Y. Are you a member of Department Y? Okay, so I've added that new field over to my order form by clicking and dragging from the left over to the right. I'm going to minimize these so you can see how this is represented. And then I'm going to refresh. All right, so now I've added a checkbox to my ordering form that the customer then can click and unclick. All right, so there's different things that you can add to an ordering form. I'm going to fast forward a little bit. I'm going to show you what a kind of completed ordering form looks like in my next example here. So let me open up Internet Explorer. All right, and we're going to go to, oops. So this happens to be a college that, so this is also on MyOrderdesk website. They just use the very basic portal look, and I'm going to show you what they have a black and white copies form. That's pretty complex, but it'll give you an idea of how advanced you can make these ordering forms. So we're going to go ahead and sign in as the site owner. Okay. So now look at this ordering form. This is the customer's view of what they see. So they've got all sorts of stuff here. They have extra text boxes. This is a menu. If you have a menu of items, they can select single-sided or double-sided. Over here on the left-hand side, they have a layout where you can put things either in the main side or on the layout side. Generally, like contact information, time due, delivery method, that kind of stuff can go over here, whereas the actual selection stuff goes over here. You're going to see this order form a bunch because we're going to reference it back and forth. If I switch over to the edit mode of that ordering form, you're going to see that there are tons of different fields that have been added to this. Okay. Does this make sense to everybody, what I'm going through here?
They can tell if they want it stapled or drilled or...
Exactly. Exactly. So in this example, it's a menu. So I can tell it's a menu by looking over here.
Do we need to load all those things in there for them?
It depends. So we have templates set up that have a lot of that stuff in there. So let's say, for example, you didn't offer, saddle stitching for whatever reason. You can just delete that out of there, and then that value will go away. So you would just highlight it and delete it, and then update the field, and then that value wouldn't be available to the customer. All right, so on this end of the spectrum, I've shown you what a brand new starting order form looks like, and then obviously this is what it's capable of doing and looking like over on this end here. Okay, so the purpose of this was just to explain what an order form is. Everyone understand what an order form is? Yes, awesome. Okay, so let's go back over here onto my test site. I'm going to close the customer's view and just focus on your view, the print shop's view when you're designing these things. On this page, it's got the options that you saw on the previous page, which was you can start a new form, you can add a new form from a template, you can look up an old form, and then if you want to copy this form, you can make a copy. All of these types of controls happen on this actual ordering form in the print shop's view. So we can delete it. We won't worry about sort right now. If you want to change the title of an order form, you can click on title and rename it. The icon, we're going to come back to this. I'm going to show you what you can do here, but in order for when your customer sees this ordering form to order from, you have to set an icon for it. It can be a custom image, or we have a whole bunch of stuff uploaded into the system that you can use as well. So you can set an icon for it. Here's our shopping cart. This happens if you're going to be doing payments, if they're going to use PayPal or a credit card, or you want to show them any type of pricing through the checkout process. That's going to be done inside of the shopping cart settings area. There's general options for the order form. This is really cool if you have a one user that has one order form. So let's say all they're doing is business cards with you at this point. If you click on that options area, you can get a link directly to this ordering form. So it's a great customer experience to say, here's the link you use to order business cards, and they click on it and they just get it right away. There's no clicking around, there's nothing else that they have to do. So it's a one-click opportunity here to give them direct access to this ordering form. Once they have multiple order forms, you'll need to direct them to your ordering page. But if they just have one order form, it's a great, we commonly get good remarks when they're able to just have one click and have access to it. If you wanted to insert it into HTML, you could do that there. Visible, you can hide order forms if you want to. That's not commonly used. And then there's just some other stuff about it as well. There's some SEO-driven things inside of here. We're going to get into that a little bit more later on. But each ordering form can have its own meta description and meta keywords. Let's see. The category is we're not going to touch on that today. That's one level too deep. The layout. The layout allows you to do what I showed you, where you put things over on the left-hand side. So for, let's say in this example, you wanted to have your main ordering form, and then on the left-hand side, you wanted to put certain information. Well, from the different layout templates, you would just choose the left side column. The caption alignment, we'll just leave it auto. And then what that allows you to do is take something like the job description, and there's a new pull-down menu now. You can either have it in the main area, or you can drop it over into the side area. So in my order form, I want to put the job description on the side, and I'm going to put the add to cart button, or the send button, if you will, over on the side as well. Okay, I'm going to open this in a new tab. And you can see that now the project title, the cart is over on that side. It prevents a lot of scrolling. If you have a really tall ordering form, it helps to split those out into two different areas. You can have a left side column, or you can have a right side column, whichever you prefer. And that's the basics of the layout area. If you want to pull fields from other order forms into this order form, you can use the import button right there. We're going to talk about smart forms later. And mailing list is, I didn't have it in my slides to go through, but if you want your end user, if you do a lot of mailings, and if you want your end user to actually purchase a mailing list through an ordering form, they can do that with the mailing list option. So it's an integration with AccuData, and give it your account information. When you click on mailing list, you'll give it all your account information, and then they can purchase a list. They can do the lookup and everything through the ordering form, purchase the list, and then that gets included when the project comes to you. You're able to then go retrieve that list and send it to whoever they decided to send it to. All right, that kind of completes our order form tutorial, so to speak. We're going to be back in here messing with things and adding things, but that's the basics of that. Does anyone have any questions with order forms?
So we've got one customer that she orders business cards, one at a time, one every day for a slew of people, okay, because they've got new people coming and going all the time. So we could set up just the category, or what was the options, where could she put that on her desktop where she could click on it and that order form would come up for her every time?
Yes. Yep. If you go to that specific order form and click on options and give her that link, that order form, it'll drive her directly to that ordering form.
Because right now she emails.
Don't like that. Our biggest competitor since 2000 has been email and the phone. That's our biggest competition, and it's still our biggest competition. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the order page itself. Now, if you're on your website, it may look different. It may be called place order. It may be called something else. But the goal of this next task is to find your order button. And when you click on it, you're going to see a bunch of things, probably. Okay, that's because you're signed in as a site administrator, and by default, the site administrator gets to see everything. You heard me talk about an icon a little bit earlier. This is an icon. Your page may not look like this. It may look like just a pull-down menu, or it may be just a list of hyperlinks. All right, what that means is you're using a view that is not the catalog view. We want to get you switched over to this. That's something that you should probably contact support for, and we can help get you the right tutorials and knowledge base articles to get you switched over to that. A really cool feature about this is you can get it all set up in the background, make sure it looks okay for everybody, and then pull the trigger and it switches over. So you don't have to work on it late at night or on the weekend to try and figure out what it's going to look like. You can do it all in the background. Don't worry if it doesn't look like this. You're just not going to get icons. You're only going to get the names of certain ordering forms. Did everybody find their order button okay? Does that make sense where we're at? Okay.
This is really weird looking.
Okay. So click on order. All right, so your order button is set up to go to a specific order form, not your ordering page. So you probably just have one ordering form that people use, right? Yeah, okay, we can talk about that more. What's up, Henry? So yours is send files and orders. Yep.
And I'm not getting my heading. What am I missing? How am I missing it?
Go to, click on that pull down one more time. And then try and reselect, click on that, and then reselect it. Sometimes what can happen is the heading goes away. Go up here and just type in your website address name again. You'll stay logged in, you won't have to log in again, but when you're switching between the customer view and the edit view, you can lose your, you lose your skin. All right, everybody still with me a little bit here? Yes?
It doesn't show me any icons.
Do you have just like a list of hyperlinks or a pull-down menu? Yep. So you're set into catalog mode, but you don't have icons set up for those images. All right. So that's done. If you click on any of those ordering forms and then you click on the icon button, you can set an image for that. So let's look at this ABC business cards. I want to change what icon shows for that. I click on it, and this is actually one more level deeper. I'm going to switch to the print shop mode because I'm looking at it as a customer. Switch to the print shop mode and click on icon. And then this is where you change where that is done. If you go to MyOrderdesk stock images, we have a whole bunch of preloaded images that you can use, or you can upload your own for you to use. So again, I was on the order. Click on one of your ordering forms. Switch to edit mode, because we need to get into the print shops mode, and then you click on icon to change the icon of it. So your ordering page will appear differently for whoever is logged in. If you're logged in as ABC College, you're only going to see the ABC College order forms. If you're logged in as XYZ Hospital, you only see the XYZ Hospital order forms. And then there is, and then when you're logged in as a site administrator, remember that you see everything. That's a common misconception is you set things up and you're like, I can still see everything. That's because you're most likely still logged in as the site administrator. So how do we log in as somebody that is a member of a group, excuse me, that we want to see what the website's going to look like from their vantage point? All right. Up here in the upper left-hand corner, we're going to click on the 3 horizontal bars. And then we're going to click in the second pull-down menu. There's a link that says Sign In As. This allows you to sign in as anybody in your everyone list without knowing their password. Because you're a site administrator, you're allowed to do that. So you click Sign In As. We're going to select our group. We get our system groups, which remember those. We get a list of our different employees if we want to log in as one of the employees. And then we get our custom groups at the bottom here. I think I added my test account to XYZ Hospital, so I'm going to go ahead and click on XYZ Hospital.
How did you get sign in as? I didn't see that.
In the upper left-hand corner, click on the 3 horizontal lines. And then there's a pull-down menu right here that has Sign In As.
You have to know their password?
You do not have to know their password. Unless you're trying to sign in as one of your employees. Are you trying to sign in as an employee?
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Okay, let's go to here.
It's going to be important to sign in as a user, so one, you can see what their ordering looks like. Also, if you're trying to figure out why they say, well, I'm logging in, I can't see one of my previous orders, you can also help kind of debug that situation as well. So XYZ Hospital, I'm going to sign in as this user. So it says you're now logged in as the selected user, and anywhere I navigate on the site, it's going to be as if I was that person. So now I'm going to click on the ordering button. And I see one ordering form. Remember, that's that business card portrait that I turned on specifically for them. So I'm in as somebody. This is what Adam is going to see. He's an XYZ Hospital member, and this is what he's going to see when he clicks on that order tab. Okay, so that's again, that's signing in as one of your customers.
Yeah, I'm losing my bars. And I'm signed in as a guy, but I'm not getting my.
Oh, your navigation. So it's there. I think the screen is just a little dim. But if you click on
Yeah, if I go
products
find
and,
point, it's gonna
or
come
click on
up.
products and services.
Our project center.
Yeah, maybe start here. You're in as Mario, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then scroll down. So Allison has that set up in a space. Actually, go back up to the top and highlight Project Center, and then click on Place an Order.
Okay.
There you go. Okay, better.
Adam,
Yes.
you've got a customer in here and
Yep.
we've got the paper type and we know what it's a funeral home and he always does the funeral programs.
Yep.
okay?
Yep.
So could we, he wants any kind of cover, off-white or linen every time, so we would load that paper in there so we could click on one of those?
It depends. The question is they have an ordering form that's used by many people right now, and they have a specific customer that only always orders 80-pound cover, 80-pound cover. They are going to need their own ordering form. So you can make a copy of that. You would probably name it specifically for that person, but they would need their own ordering form if you want to do it on a per group basis like that. So yeah, you can adjust your main ordering form to be specific options, but that specific user group will have to have their own specific ordering form. It's a good question. All right, so we've talked about our employees, we talked about order forms, we talked about the order page. We just talked about logging in as your end user. So how do you get back out of their account once you've been inside of it? So you can click on the My Account tab, My Account link. And there should be a smaller link up top here that says Return to Adam, or Return to your name, whoever it is. And then you have one more button to press, which is the Revert button, which will bounce you back. So you don't have to keep clicking sign out, keeping log in, sign out, log in, sign out. It can all be done without having to enter your username and password back and forth. Okay? The next thing that we're going to go over is, actually we're going to skip setting up a test group, just we're a little bit short on time, but what I want to highlight there is set up a test group for yourself and put a test user in there that has a live email account that you have access to, so that you can interact with notifications and you can add order forms. It'll pay off in the long run. Otherwise, you end up sending, well, why? Why do you do that? Well, if you set up a test group and you accidentally start placing orders as that person, it happens all the time, that's not a good thing, because they're going to start to get notifications and it's going to get confusing. So I highly recommend setting up a test group and setting up a live test user that you're able to funnel stuff in and out of. Logging in as an end user and submitting an order. This is built for that was built for a shorter video, so I think we're going to get into that a little bit later. So I'm going to keep moving past that, but we're going to go to the history page. That's a great place to go. There's a lot of useful information on here. So I call it the history page. Again, depending on how you have your website set up, it may be called something completely different. On this specific website, it's called My Orders. It'll also say something like My Jobs. It could say History. It could say Reorder. That'll take you to the same page. They all go to the same area. But if you guys can navigate to this page for me. This is your dashboard, so to speak. This is where you make changes. This is where you make changes to jobs. This is where you go look at what jobs are available, what have come up, and it's really separated into 3 different logical sections. All right. The top area here is the filtering section, where you can go and you can just look for jobs, however you want to sort by them. You can click on this filters link to the right-hand side, which will expand. Sorry about that. It'll expand and contract filters. If you don't want to keep seeing these every time, you don't have to, but you can show what items. You can choose if it's a specific ordering form that they were using, if it's a specific category, specific organization name, specific project name. We were talking yesterday how we would auto-append a code to the back of a specific order form so you could look for it. That's where you do it, and then you can just look for things that have that specific project name in them. So 3 different areas of this screen. The first area is the filters, which is the top section. The next area is the dashboard, which is where all of our jobs exist. All right, these are all the test jobs, everything. You can see these were submitted back in December. You can choose how many items you want to display on here, but each one of these rows represents a job that's come into the system. And at the bottom here, we call this our control center. This is basically where you can lock jobs and for changes and unlock jobs. You can delete the files that are associated with jobs. That's all done down here in our control center. So the takeaway from that is there's 3 different sections to this page.
By locking and unlocking jobs.
So a locked job is something you want to do once you retrieve their file. Let's say you get a copy of somebody wants you to make 40 copies of something. They would send in a MyOrderdesk order form. You would retrieve that file and then lock that job. What that prevents them from doing is going in and making any changes after that, because technically once you have that file and you're ready to go print it, you do not want them to make any changes to it. So, so our common practice is once you retrieve that file, you lock the job.
No way they can't say we need 40 copies instead of
Exactly. Or they could go back in and say, oh look, I put 40 when it said 20 at some point.
the original out. I'll tell you.
Exactly.
Why on mine does it have like security or download file?
So those are crossed out because you don't have that option. If you want to select, say, 6 jobs and lock all of them at one time, you need a component of ours called high volume. And so if you're not using that, those are crossed out. Those aren't available. So we're talking about the ordering page, where we've been talking about the history page. Now, as a site administrator or job administrator or a staff member, when you log into here, you're going to see all the jobs. If your customer clicks on reorder or my orders page, they're only going to see their jobs that they have submitted. Okay, so you guys share the same screen, but what you see is different. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. Let's go into a job here. I think this one's okay. And actually, we're gonna.
How did you get to that questionnaire thing, just open the file?
Yeah, so if you want to open the details of a job, you can click on its specific job number. You can click on the title of it here, and then there's a couple other things that you can see in here regarding its job lock, in production, and changes. Over here on the left-hand side, it tells you if there are any files that have been attached to this job. So right now, there's no files on this job. Most likely what happened is I just deleted them. But if we scroll down, you're going to see it says 1 files, and that means they've attached a job to that file.
I don't see a log icon. I put this on.
Yeah, so that says NA files. That just means that there were no files attached to that job. Yeah, 0 files means that something was there and now it's been deleted. NA means there was never a file attached. Let me see if I can find another one for you guys. There, that's a good example. So the 3 different things that you'll see there is the number of files that are there, NA, or 0 files. If you click on that, you can download a zip file of what was attached. Same thing for proofs. This is pretty much stays line in line, except for unless they have not proofed something. If they just submit an order form without proofing it, that'll say 0. And then the system has the ability to do approvals. Does anybody do? Any of your customers have approvals right now where 20 people submit orders and they have to be approved by a manager before they come to you? Okay. Okay. All right.
I don't know how to set that up.
Yeah. That's what I'm querying to see if that's something we should look at. But it's done inside of users and groups, where you can take a person that's a member of a group and assign them as an approver. That means that they got to sign off on everything before it comes to you. So they get an email alert that says you need to approve this before it goes to the print shop, and then they can approve that job. So we might do a smaller section on that, but that is something that MyOrderdesk can do, is multiple levels of approvals. All right, so we got our files, our proofs, and our approvals. If you want to control a job, like I said, if you wanted to lock a job or do anything with it, you can click on this checkbox. It'll highlight the line, and then you can go lock the job. You can delete the files off the job, do whatever you need to do.
Adam,
Yes?
is there a way that you can not have it auto-delete after 30 days?
Yes.
Keep it indefinitely?
Yes, that's a great question. So up at the top here, if you click on storage summary. No, that's not what I want to do. It's actually the line right above here where my auto delete is set to 366 days and my job history auto delete is set to 3,660 days. So what Jared's question is look at this number here and see if your job files are set to delete after a certain amount of time. Okay, to change that, you can click on that link. And then Jared, right here under Store Files, you can store how long you want a file to remain in the system, and you can store it for up to a year.
30 days.
That might be specific to ICED. I'll put that in my list. That's a little bit. Everyone says 30 days? Okay. 366?
I'm not seeing those. You click on it, and again, this may be because we have our skin is different.
Oh, interesting. Click on mine and switch it to
It only, 30 is the limit.
660 days.
for your job history. What about store files?
The auto detail set to 3,660 days. On this job, this is one of our original. Yeah, mine says 3,000.
What about right next to it where it says you have stored files, auto delete set to 30 days? Right to the left there.
Go storage.
I'm going to look at that, guys. I don't know why yours, there's another way to get to it. Oh, you're still logged in as the customer. Click out here.
Oh,
Yeah, you're still in as Mario, so you just need to click on, you can click on that,
I would go back to my own.
and then
login.
click on the second pull down, and then return to Maryland,
Okay.
and then scroll down.
Oh, it still says welcome, Mario.
Yeah, you got to click on the revert button.
Oh.
Scroll down. Oh, no, you're right. Scroll down over here. And then click on revert. And then if you go there, you should be able to see it. So the ICED accounts are a little bit special, but I'm gonna make a note of that to get an answer for that.
I've got 3,660.
Do that too, but over on the farther left.
What's weird, Gary, is you don't have that red link on yours. I don't know if it's the way that the page is displaying.
Well, this is an older site.
On the left-hand side, go to click on My Account, and then click on actually click up here on the 3 horizontal bars,
Right.
and then hover over Site Settings, and then scroll down a little bit. That's this. It's this bar. It's this bar over there. There you go. Site Settings, Options, and then just click on Options, and then scroll down and click on Send Files and Orders, and then click on My Jobs Options. Sorry, and it's this one right here. Store files for. So you have 7 days. Auto delete files. I have everyone's email address. I'm going to have a parking lot for questions. And
This is an old site.
okay, depending on when your ICD site was set up, there might have been different parameters set. So I'll figure out what's going on with that. Yep. All right. So let's jump back to the history page. Everything last 9 years. Okay, let me scroll back down to. Okay, there's an important concept in what we're about to talk about, which is the difference between a shopping cart ordering form, and a classic ordering form. So what the difference is at the bottom, it's got either an add to cart button or it has a send button. Okay? A send button indicates that you can't add multiple items to a shopping cart and then send it off to you guys. Okay? A shopping cart means you can add multiple items to it. Think Amazon.com. Well, think about if Amazon.com didn't have a shopping cart. It just had a send button and they were allowed to do one thing at a time. So the way that you can tell if something has been a shopping cart versus something that's just a regular ordering form, and again, you can set your ordering form up to be up whether a shopping cart or a classic order form, is by this item here, which is basically hide items versus there's no items in there. So what that means is that these are, in this example, there's Adam's shopping cart has 1 item in it. In this example here, there's no shopping cart. It's just a classic ordering form. So let me scroll down and I'll show you a shopping cart that has multiple items inside of it.
One of them has something like printing under. Does that mean it's a specific order?
Yes, that means a specific order form. If it doesn't say cart anywhere up in the heading here, that means that it's just a standard ordering form. This is an example of a cart that's got a ton of different items inside of it. All right, we're going to get into more differences between those and why one's better than the other in just different circumstances in just a second here. All right, so we've got our, let me go back up to the area that had multiple different items on it. Okay, so the name of this shopping cart, so now we're going to talk about the differences between a classic and a shopping cart job. The classic job shows the job description up here, okay? My first order. This will be the job description field. Remember how I said each MyOrderdesk order form has 4 standard fields? One of them is a description field. Well, that's what appears in this area. That field is very important. All right, the job description field is very important. One more time, the job description field is very important. That's what you can search on, okay? If you want to autofill that job description with certain information, we have the ability to turn that on. So like in your example, we're going to fill your job description with a certain code so that they can't overwrite that, because if we give them the option to, they will. And again, this is a classic job. This is the order form that they used, was just to send a file, and then it gives us a status of the job. The customer can see that. So if you want to give something a certain category, or you want to put in a specific note for a customer, that's where you would do it. I'm going to show you how to do that in just a second as well. Shopping cart is very similar. This is the name of this is just the name of the cart, if you will. This is the name of the ordering form that they use. And then if they had a job description, it would appear in parentheses behind it. Let me find one for you. So like this one here, this is the job description here. So a couple differences between classic job forms and shopping cart ordering forms. But the more that you work with them, the more apparent it becomes. And
Quantity, I'm sorry.
yeah.
The quantity and the amount, where it's got quantity of 250, does that automatically
Where does that come from?
So that's back on the order form. There's a shopping cart button at the top, and you map the quantity that's on the order form to the shopping cart, and then that will make it display here. It's a little bit of advanced concept, but you can, if they choose a quantity on an ordering form and you want it to display on here, you would map it in the shopping cart settings of an ordering form. Yes.
I clicked on a couple of those, like which is my first order,
Mm-hmm.
and then when I go off of it, now it's not bold anymore. It's like it's grayed out. What does that mean?
So I just clicked on my first order, and then if I go back, you're saying that changed?
That part is now, it's not dark anymore. It's gray, like it's grayed out.
Is it highlighted by any chance?
No, because I went down and did another one, and it's the same way now. It's the title is like that.
Let me look real quick.
I ordered the email last night, so I'm sure I didn't do something
Sure.
to it. Right there. I clicked on that. See.
Oh, all that means is that when you click on a link, it's highlighting it as brown. So if you click on any link in there, it highlights as brown, but no, you haven't heard anything.
It didn't change it.
No, it didn't change anything.
But it may be
On your computer, it will. On everyone else's computer, it'll be blue. It'll be no
So
problem.
on a graphics computer, if they went back, it's not one like it may turn gray because she might have checked it, she'll even look at it again.
It won't turn gray. That's just it's a setting specific to your computer. So yeah, you're good. Good question though.
It was a playlist in the order last night.
Gotcha. Okay, so now we've kind of talked about your dashboard here, so to speak. We talked a little bit about. It was kind of a good laugh that we had yesterday, where a production guy would have an iPad or a tablet or something, and then he would be able to go in and then produce jobs off of that. We have built some components into MyOrderdesk, if you start to go that route, where we can refresh this page every 5 minutes. So if you did want a dashboard that you worked off of, the page will auto refresh every couple of minutes. That can work for in a couple different scenarios, but we have built some stuff into there so that essentially each section will have its own view of the dashboard. If you only wanted to see certain orders that are assigned to your certain group, you can also set up the filters to do that as well. So there's a lot on this page, and we're going to be in it all day. So
Let me understand this thing. You say that there's an option to lock or unlock.
yes,
When you lock a job.
Yep.
What does that mean? The customer can't do anything?
exactly. Yep. When you lock a job, the customer cannot come and make any changes to it.
And we've sent you the proof, it's in production, you're done.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Would they go back in, the customer, if it wasn't locked, and go back to that original, or would they just have to send a new one?
So let's pretend I'm as a customer right now, and I'm going to unlock this job. Let's see, I can go in there. I'm going to unlock this job. Oops. Okay, so now if I was a customer, I could come in, I could click on My Orders, I can click on Test, I can go in here, and I can change Do You Require Delivery? I can change that to a yes, and then click on Save. And so then when you went to log in and look at that, it would change. If the job was locked, I couldn't go do that as a customer.
But could they go in and, like you said, change the quantity of orders? They could.
Once it's locked, they cannot go in and change it.
Once you print a job, you unlock it, so the customer can't come and say, well, I ordered 50 more. Well,
Lock it as soon as you retrieve it.
Yes.
retrieve it, that way they can't make a change. They can,
So that when they call up and say, I wanted 500 more, he said.
Adam, is there any way that it will automatically lock when you get the notification you download the job?
Yeah, there's different settings inside here where you can automatically lock a job. Any job that has a credit card payment gets automatically locked for obvious reasons because you're accepting money, and at that same time it's gonna auto lock the job. But there's a number of different settings that will auto lock different jobs for you.
Adam, I'm also seeing this, export this job ticket as a database file. That's where if we had our link set up into Printer's Plan, we could auto send the job into Printer's Plan?
You could manually do it that way, maybe, but there's a full automation with Printer's Plan where when a job arrives into MyOrderdesk, it's automatically sent to Printer's Plan. So it shows up in MyOrderdesk and Printer's Plan at the same exact time. No manual intervention. That's what our integration with Printer's Plan does. Okay, so back to jobs and carts. Let's talk about the printable job ticket because that came up a couple times yesterday. There's 2 different versions of it. One is for the classic order forms, one's for the shopping cart. So I'll show you what the classic one looks like right now. So I'm just going to open up an order, and then up here in the upper right hand corner there's a print button. And there's not a lot of information. There's just one field on this form that's called project name, but this gives you a printable job ticket. We also have an older version as well. We have 2 different versions that you can use. But this gives you all the contact information. Go ahead. What's up? If you want to view the old page, you can click on View Old Page. And it gives you a little bit more information about the job. We have 2 different versions. We put the new one in place. There's half of the group didn't like it, so we decided to accomplish it that way. Okay, so that's a printable job ticket for a classic item that just has one item inside of it. Let's look at what a shopping cart printable job ticket looks like. So here's a good one. It's got a whole bunch of items in it. And when we click on print, well, all the items are deleted for that one, so forgive me. See if I can find another one in here. This one might be good. Okay, so in this example, there's just one item inside of the shopping. There's just one item in the shopping cart, but it gives you all the information that you're looking for. This is meant to go in the pocket folders that they were talking about. That's what this sheet was built to do, is to give you all the information that you would need if you wanted to use it for that method. In a perfect world, you wouldn't have to. There'd be a computer station, and that they'd be able to log in and look at a job, and not have to have that printable ticket floating around. But we understand that that's part of the workflow in some places.
So you could actually, if someone got that, they could print it out and that could go on the job checker.
Yes.
But to get this, you have to set up.
Nope. Whoever retrieves the job, whoever is first to the job, would just come to the jobs area, and then they would click on the item, whatever it is, and then click on the print button. At the end of the job?
Yeah, because you submitted it electronically.
Yep.
The job comes out of the machine, but you know what's going on, but the 14th person that your employee doesn't. So he needs a job ticket to know where to put it. Does that make sense?
Shouldn't that job ticket go down the line?
Not if you send it directly right now. Let's say I send it directly to the copy machine and it's going to make books out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't make a job ticket. Will that create a job ticket after the job's through a copy machine?
I'm having a hard time following.
We're doing it electronically.
Okay.
I'm sitting in one room in another office.
You as the customer, or you the print shop?
I'm in the print shop.
Okay.
They sent this to me as a print shop.
Yep. So.
I'm printing the job.
Yep. So you come to this screen, you download the file, you lock the job, and you print it.
I'm ready to print it.
Yep.
I'm not going to send a job ticket with it. I'm just going to print it from my office.
Okay.
Can I get a job ticket to print after the job prints off the machine?
I understand what you're saying. Automatically.
In another room upstairs, 3 stories away, I don't have to run a job ticket up.
Great question. There's nothing that will automatically print a job ticket, but that's not the first time that I've heard that. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's a feature we see soon.
I've got to enter this into another system anyway,
Mm-hmm.
and then run the job ticket over.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
My question was, suppose I quoted the price, special price, right?
Uh-huh.
Everything approved.
Yep.
Now, can I just directly send you my, cash drawer, like in the Princeman or anywhere?
That would require an integration with Printsmith. Whenever you say the word automatic, think of the word integration. And when you think of Printsmith, forget about it, because they don't want to integrate with anybody. So it's all it'd be a manual process if you wanted to do that.
So which software integrate with this?
So we integrate with Printer's Plan. We also are there's 3 others on tap, which I don't think we've released publicly, so don't say anything to anybody. But so we're looking at, we've had integrations with Avanti, which is right behind EFI. So Avanti makes a product called Slingshot. Docket Manager, we've been in discussion with them. We're working through that process. And then also Virtual Systems has a product called Midnight. Those are all MIS systems that we're working on integrating with.
Now, this drop-down menu includes Printers Plus, and isn't that what you guys are on?
Avanti, Docket Manager. We have Printer's Plan right now.
And then the other one is?
And then Virtual Systems. Their product is called Midnight. Right now, Printer's Plan. Right now, Printer's Plan. We have the ability to pull pricing out of Printer's Plan, show it to a customer, and then we also have the ability to push jobs into it. So it's a 2-way, fully integrated system with Printer's Plan.
If we decide to do that, how much hand-holding will you guys do?
So, yeah, so we like your main point of contact to be with Gary. That's kind of the agreement that we have. Gary knows very well how to get a hold of us, and we doubled the size of our support team in the last year. So we understand that's a massive part of what's going on today. The learning curve, no matter what system you go with, is going to be complex. So yeah, we've got your backs on all that kind of stuff. It's very common for us to talk to print shops all the time, and we like your first point of contact to be Gary, and then we can help you.
Cost for that integration, give the print file software, and we've already got the ICED sponsored MyOrderdesk site. Any additional dollars?
There's a one-time fee to activate the Printer's Plan integration. I think it's $149. So it's very small.
Yeah, nothing in comparison to the amount of man-hours.
Right. So you'd have to go buy the Printer's Plan from them and the web version, and then on our side it's just a one-time fee of $150. Okay, so I'm to the bottom of my first slide. What I really wanted to accomplish in this first one was a general understanding of where I'm navigating around. So all MyOrderdesk sites have an ordering page. All MyOrderdesk sites have a history page, and it all looks similar for us. We all have a My Account page. Other things can be different in the navigation, but do you guys feel a little bit better about when you look at your website where things are? Okay, history, the dashboard, where things are at. Okay. I want to do more frequent but small breaks because this stuff is just going to get crazier. So let's do like a 5-10 minute break, and then we'll scramble back here and keep moving forward.